welcome back to another episode of the Infinite Podcast. We're having some technical issues in the background. Holly will be joining us when she gets that sorted. But for the minute, it's me and Mike from 4XP. Mike, how you doing? How's your month been? I think it's been a month again, or your weeks or whatever. How's things? What's been going on? What are you playing? What have you been up to? What's life like for you?
Oh, man, things have been going kind of crazy. I've been traveling quite a bit. We were doing conventions and things like that, so did one here locally. We did the Utah Retro Game Expo, which was awesome. Bunch of old school games and stuff like that. Went to Florida, where you do this thing with my kids where when they turn 11, my wife and I will take them somewhere, just the three of us, and my daughter wanted to go to Universal, so went to Universal, did the whole thing down there. Didn't do Disney, did Universal, and got her to scream on some rides. That might have been a little big for an 11-year-old, but I had a lot of fun. Going to be heading to Tucson here soon for another, that's in Arizona, for another convention, so it's just kind of end of summertime. Haven't been playing a ton of games, to be honest. I did pick up, I have been playing Campaign Evolved just because I love Halo. I really wanted to jump in and just play Assault on the Control Room, that level, just because I love that level for sure, and was a little bit disappointed that it's like, no, they're not all unlocked. You gotta play through, so haven't quite gotten to that level specifically. But been playing Campaign Evolved just a little bit. Not a ton, but just been out and about traveling, spend the time with family and stuff like that before the summer here in the North Americas ends. So that's been me.
Yeah, it's about to get absolutely wild with games. So I'm having real trouble getting through all the games that I've got with family and all that sort of stuff. So, and life happening and work and all that sort of stuff. For me, started a new job. Yeah, I know it sounds like I start a new job every other week, guys. But started the new job. Things are pretty crazy there. Interesting place. I won't talk too much about that, obviously, because work's work. But what I have done is I constantly scroll Facebook Marketplace, right? So I'm always just looking at what's there. And generally, it knows that I love tech, so it shows me all the tech stuff. Show me like gaming laptops, headsets, gaming mice, keyboards, all that sort of stuff. Anyway, so I'm scrolling the other day, and I saw this 4080 laptop, 175 watt power, so full powered laptop with an i9. I was like, oh, $1,200, right? So I bought my 4060 MSI for around about 800, but you could sell them. They sell generally for about 1,200. So I'm like, that is an absolute bargain. That is a bargain. I got to check this out. So I wasn't too sure if the guy was genuine or not. Facebook Marketplace could be, anyone or anything. Anyway, long story short, got out there and had a look at this thing and ended up buying it because that is just an insane price. And I know I can sell the MSI for 1,200 and just basically do a straight swap, with a little bit of a shortfall for a little while. What does Grey Monad says is you can buy the games from your Riskit and I'll play them and tell you how good they are. So yeah, I booted that up the other day, and that's it's made by, I don't know if you guys know, if you know much about gaming laptops, but there is a Chinese company that's called Clevo that sells their cages, so the actual laptop case itself, and then motherboards and stuff to fit it. And then you have bespoke companies out there like Neo, Metabox. Metabox is actually in Perth where I am, that make custom-made laptops. So this one's actually a custom-made laptop. Thing runs like crazy. The problem is that they generally tend to run a little bit hot. This run's running a little bit hot, but that's okay. I've got a laptop cooler under it, like pumping through whenever I'm playing. Thing runs like a dream. It only had 16 gigabyte of RAM though. So I switched out I did something really stupid, but lesson learned. So I busted open the backs of two of these laptops, right? Got them sitting on the table. I was sure that I'd turned off the 4080. Apparently I didn't. So I've opened up the backs of these laptops, right? And I'm switching the RAM over. And just as I've just nearly popped the RAM out of the Metabox, the fan switches on. I'm like, oh, this thing is like sort of too late. Happened as I hit the RAM, and as soon as I hit the RAM, the fan died. So I was like, what have I done here? I'm like, oh, it's too late. I've got the RAM out, so I've got to switch this thing. So I quickly, carefully switched it out. Put the 16 gig in the MSI, booted it up, did a memory check, did all that stuff, and it ran like an absolute dream. I don't recommend it. That can absolutely fry your motherboard. And it can fry the RAM stick. It can fry the actual RAM slots as well. I was really, really lucky. I managed to switch it over and had absolutely no dramas. So now I've managed to get a 4080. The thing runs, it's basically like a 4070 Ti. The thing runs a lot of stuff at like 60 on mostly ultra, like high-end settings that I can get on the 5090, but on the 5090, I'll be running it at about, maybe anywhere from 120 to 160, 200 frames. But with the 4080, obviously sits at 60, which is perfect. And the thing is, I have the laptop for travel. It's generally hooked up to a 1080p TV. So, like, I'll be running everything at ultra. It was an absolute steal. So that's my good fortune for the week. What have I been playing? Wow. So I've been playing, I've been trying to get through Assassin's Creed. I wanted to get onto Halo with Holly. I don't know where she is at, by the way. Wanted to get onto Halo with Holly, but she was busy yesterday and I've just gotten back. So I have really mixed thoughts about Halo. I want to jump into that as a topic. I was hoping Holly would be here now so we could do a quick introduction, but I guess she's taking her time. I'll check and see what's happening with her, but we'll jump into the first topic. Before we do, hit the like button. Hear us out. We go live at some stage every month. At the moment is how it works.
Isn't that the truth? So, sometime during the month we're here.
Yeah, that's pretty much what's happening at the moment. I'm hoping to sort of rein this in. She's still trying to figure it out. Perfect. So I'm hoping to rein this in. To get it to a bit more of a consistent thing for the guys as well, because hard for Holly, hard for Donte. They got lives, you know what I mean? It's like, is there a show this week? Is there not a show this week? Tough on them as well. So I'm trying to get it to some sort of consistency, not just for you fantastic people in the audience, but for myself and for the guys who give their time every week, and they are absolutely amazing. Hopefully she can get that audio sorted out. But we'll jump into the first topic, and I sort of wanted to talk about this. It's something that you mentioned. So. Halo, have you had a chance to play much of?
Yeah, I've played like the first 4 levels, something like that. Played through on heroic. Didn't want to just jump into legendary. Kind of been waiting to play at least the prequel the prequel levels with my buddies. Just like you and Holly, just hasn't aligned like I want it to, and so. Haven't played a ton of it, but I think I've gotten, the feel of it down and, what the representation they were looking for from it. And so I think I have a good sample size, at least to form an opinion of it. But yeah, I've been playing it. You want me to dive deeper, or are you just kind of curious if I have or not?
No, just curious if you played it, because I guess I've played quite a bit of it. With a couple of people, so with my son and his friends, and then a little bit with Holly and Monad. And then, look, I haven't played. I played a little bit of the new missions by myself. Excuse me. No BT Maverick. I did not kick Holly off the show. She will be in here as soon as she can get the audio issues sorted out. But so look, there's been a lot of controversy around Halo. I don't know if you've seen any of that. And there's been like the dark side controversy, and then there's also been just generally people don't think it's been a good remake. So I guess my thing is that they've just done an update to turn off chromatic aberration and like the film grain. I think motion blur as well. It did look really sort of soft and blurry, I have to say. Like, it didn't have that crisp feeling. And the writing is hard. Like, when we were playing it with Holly, I'm pointing out this stuff. I'm like, look at this. So there's a part where, like, at the beginning of the game, you would have played this bit where he's talking to the troops, right? And then he sends the troops off out, and then he turns to face the camera to do like a mug shot or whatever it is, and then starts talking to the troops. They've already gone. It's just some really weird story stuff, decisions. There's another one where he's shooting down a they're shooting down a hallway, and he's like, lay it on him, let him have it sort of thing, don't stop shooting. And then he's just standing there and the scene goes for another couple of seconds. It's just a weird pause. It just wasn't, it's just not done well. Like the first one was done amazingly. And this one, yeah, look, it's great because it's Halo, but I don't think it's great because of the remake. It's very much great because it's already had a great set of bones. Do you run into any issues, things that you were unhappy with about the game?
So, I mean, to be honest, I was skipping over a lot of the cutscenes. The opening one where, the Pillar of Autumn's under fire and they go and get the Master Chief. Like, I watched that one. With the other ones, I'm just like, nah, I'm just going to skip over the cutscenes. So, nothing on that end. The thing that I didn't really like, comparing the original to this one, is that it seemed like I would just be walking along and then just like insta-death out of nowhere. And I'm like, what is going on? And I don't know, I haven't checked confirmed or anything like that, but I think when plasma grenades are just like lying on the ground, that it can just do like this chain reaction and just kill you instantly out of nowhere. And that was something I was experiencing, and I'm like, this is not how it's supposed to be. And I didn't have any skulls on or anything like that, and so that was a big annoyance, especially on the first level where there's those, tight halls, tight corridors as you're going through the Pillar of Autumn. And that was definitely annoying. Like, even when I was going through like the crawl spaces, trying to get from one point to the other, because there's a bunch of rubble and fire and stuff in the way, like I would die inside just instantly for no reason at all. And it was really, really annoying, really buggy. I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a few hard locks where it's just kicked me from the game. And there's a few. Have you been playing co-op, or are you just playing by yourself?
I've just been playing by myself, and like playing through on heroic. I want to say, I mean, I haven't played through, the MCC or the original for some time, but I'm playing through in heroic. I'm like, this seems like a lot easier than I remember it being. And especially like if you party up with some friends and you got 4 of you and you're playing through legendary, it seems like it's not going to be hard to just cut through everything. If you're playing co-op, which is disappointing because, playing on legendary is it's a big deal. It's hard. And it just seemed like this isn't going to be as much of a daunting task or as much as of a grind that I want it to, when I play through with some friends. And so haven't done it with anybody currently, but that was one takeaway. It's like, this seems a lot easier than what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I think the AI is slightly different, or well, I mean, obviously it would be completely rebuilt, but so I think the AI is not as it sort of was. I will say they do sort of come out of cover and they have a little bit more. I wouldn't say it's better or worse. It's slightly different. But I think because you can run, right? You can sprint, so you can get away from people pretty quickly. And the other thing is you can sort of obviously zoom in, and the assault rifles become a bit of a laser. So if you're using that a lot, it tends to wipe people out. Yeah, it is definitely easier. Definitely easier. I don't know. I just feel like these guys have not been good stewards of the brand. Like, I think it's time. Well, this is the topic that I'm sort of getting to. I think it's time to hand it off. I think it's time to shutter the studio. I've had enough. They've had plenty of chances. And this one should have been an easy one to knock out of the park. When it launched on launch day, I bought the early access, and it shut down 100%. Monad Gears over Halo. You couldn't get in, so no one could actually get in to the game, and that was like an ongoing problem for about 4 or 5 hours. So you lost 5 hours of something that you've paid for. Then they gave us a skin, but they gave that skin to everyone. they gave that skin. I can see you down there. They gave that skin to everyone, and I don't know. I feel like this has just been a excuse the language clusterfuck, like from start to finish. Yeah, there's been 1.2 million copies sold across Xbox and PS5. There's 67 million they've grossed apparently. There's 2.1 million Game Pass players on it. I don't know. I don't think that this has been a great thing. And what's happened? There's some rumors coming from. I'm not sure who put this one out, but it's from an article. Sorry, let's do. Holly, how are you? How you been? What's going on? And we'll jump on this article.
Tech is great. I love tech. Tech is the coolest. It's so much fun. You don't have good tech unless it doesn't work. Hi. Hi, guys. Hi. How you doing? It's been a week. I'm here. Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're right.
But
What's been
now.
going on? What have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot of stuff. I played a lot of the Gears beta, both weekends. Streamed a little with Mag and Colt. Showed them how to actually play the game. No, I'm kidding. But I did play a lot of that beta. I have been playing Fallout 76. I have gone back into Call of Duty Black Ops 7 this last week because, as you know, the beta came out today for Modern Warfare 4, and I am probably going to play the breaks off of that, and I just didn't play that much Modern Black Ops 7. Multiplayer, I just really didn't play much at all. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be so bad at this. I'm going to be so bad at it. Let me at least play a little bit of Call of Duty for a little bit here and there just to kind of like start to ease my way in, right? So I like pop in for a couple matches here and there over the last week. And I did play one match of the Modern Warfare beta before we hopped in. And I've also been playing Mortal Shell 2, which came out in early access this week. And
Yes, it did.
Pal World, and more Ball Pit, and Link's Awakening on the Switch 2.
Link's Awakening?
Like the cozy game. Yeah. Yep.
I haven't turned on my Switch 2 for a long time.
Yeah, I hadn't turned on mine in like a year. and I bought that game and I really wanted to play it when it came out, and something else was out, just like the story always is, right? So I finally set up my Switch 2 in my bedroom, like the dock and everything. And I was like, I'll just play a little bit of Zelda every night before, actually turning off the lights and going to sleep. So that's my cozy game.
That might be a good idea for me, actually, to get through. What was that? The Zelda one? I want to play it, but I just...
Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom?
All of them.
Both of those are hundreds of hours.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But Link's Awakening is this cute little, he's like a little like cutesy amiibo-y style Link. And it's like a little dungeon crawler. It's not really that hard. But Ocarina of Time is coming out in...
Yeah.
So I didn't go to work this week. No, I did go to work this week. My dog really hurt himself too this week, which I was also dealing with. So, yeah, just a little bit here and there of all of those. Just a little bit. But I've been like kind of bouncing around to a whole bunch of stuff. So
I've been trying to get through Assassin's Creed, but and I'm almost there. And then I'm on to Mortal Shell 2, which I think people are sleeping on that game and shouldn't, because that game is like so much more fun than the first one. The first one was like wooden and it didn't feel right, and it was really, really tough. This one's pretty accessible. It's fun. The animations are
it's still
sick.
hard.
Yeah,
but at least...
there's hardened parts. Yeah. Have you fought the first boss in the wheelchair? Straight up,
no,
BS.
All I've done is that full... I thought I was in the game. I didn't realize it was still the intro until you get to the tower. and then it opens up and it does this like walking vignette thing, and then Mortal Shell 2 pops up in the side. You're like, oh crap, that was just the intro. And I found that I like went around all of the tower and went up to the top, getting ready to go out to
the world,
get my first shell. But I haven't done any of that yet. My dog is okay. He's recovering. He's on some medication and stuff like that, but he's okay.
What happened to the dog?
Somebody asked. I don't know. I really don't know. I went out in the backyard with them and I was taking the garbage out, and I went out of the back gate 10 feet to the garbage can, threw the garbage away, came back in, and he was just all like seized up, and his left arm was like up, and I have to carry, he's like 54 pounds. I have to carry him up and down the steps in the house. It was fun. Yeah, it's Finn. And I took him to the vet yesterday, and so we think this is not a dog podcast. I'm sorry. It's not a dog. But basically, he either hurt his elbow somehow in 10 seconds, or his neck pinched a nerve, which makes them hold their arm up, which is also a weird thing, which I didn't know. But yeah, sorry. It's not a dog podcast. So he's on limited movement, and I'm carrying him everywhere, and he was in really, really bad shape. He was breathing really hard and stuff. And anyway, sorry. And people should not sleep on Seeking City 2. It's fantastic. I also got that, but I kickstarted it. I just haven't played it yet.
Yeah, look, I played the demo of Mortal Shell 2 and the demo of Sinking City, and I'm like, I would play Sinking City. I'm just not going to have time. Like, I'm just getting the back end of Assassin's Creed done, so.
Finn is family. Finn is definitely family. He's been on stream before. So you should play the Sinking City Remastered. It's really good. And it's only 10, 15 hours, something like that.
Yeah.
And it would even be good if it's a Switch game. I don't know if it's on the Switch. It probably is. But it's an easy, you know what I mean? It's not easy, but like it's not something that requires, flashy motor skills and all of that stuff, right? So
yeah, you can just sort of cruise through the game and the story.
But it's very story driven. Yeah.
So we were supposed to play Halo, but we didn't get a chance to do that. But we will do that this week. I've got a few more days till I'm out to work. So we'll hopefully get that finished. I reckon we can do that 2 more sessions, Holly. Hopefully. What?
If you want to watch if anybody wants to watch the funniest thing of their life, and they all enjoy watching other people play games, the Burt Peanut did a 24-hour stream playing Halo on Legendary and a lasso run. So like he would find all the skulls in a level and then turn them on at the end of each level going into the next one, right? And like one of the first, and he was playing with 3 other people, and like the first 2, or like some of the first 2 levels, he got the floor is lava, so you can't stop moving. You have to jump all the time, otherwise you'll just take health damage and die. And the other one is if you're playing in co-op and anybody dies, it resets to the last checkpoint. And that one on Legendary, I'm still watching it. It's so funny. And there's all the others too, right? There's tons, like you can't pick up enemy guns, and there's all kinds. It's really funny. It's really, really funny. It's pure torture.
But it would be. I would not play the floor is lava. And I hate when I see people. I just
that
even
one's
hate
not
people
nearly as
hopping.
bad as the co-op one. The co-op one is the one that would actually make you mental, because when somebody dies, everybody resets back to the last checkpoint. And Halo has that system: if you die a certain amount of times, it resets your checkpoint back further. So.
Oh, I didn't know that. I know with that skull that if you're playing solo, you just restart the level each time by yourself, which sounds terrible as well.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the library. Yeah.
I've never died, so I don't know that. So look,
Got Juggernaut over here, yeah.
we talked a little bit about, I think, Halo in the last episode, but it's sort of come out from Rebs Gaming, it was. And there's an article saying that his verbatim was said, they also said Activision began testing a prototype for Halo presentation in June. Apparently, it's at an early stage and only basic gameplay mechanics such as player movement were tested. However, I was told they cancelled it in early July. Cancelling the prototype doesn't mean Activision won't develop Halo games. According to Reb's source, Microsoft is still exploring the proposal. It has not been approved yet. And I guess what I was saying, sort of, Holly, when you came in, is I'm ready for, I think 343 Halo Studios has had their chance. You can change your name as many times as you like, but you're still 343. I think they've had their chance. They had their opportunity. Look, Halo, this campaign evolved is not good. Yeah, Holly did push me to my death. Yep. Well, I disappeared for a sec. I think Halo is good, not because of the remake, but in spite of it. I think the bones of the game just make it good because Halo was good as Halo. But the remake was just poor. Like the ridiculous amount of, and I don't have a problem with purple, but just how purple the levels are for the Covenant is like this. It's just, I don't know. There's the creativity not, the whole thing is just slightly off, and they didn't quite hit the mark. And I think if you can't hit the mark with the remake of Halo, how are you going to ever hit the mark with a new game? So I'm not hopeful for the title. And I hope to see them pass it on to Activision or someone else. I don't care. Pass it on to Coalition. Pass it on to anyone. Mike, you feel like that they're probably going to make a banger in the next one, or what do you think? You think it's time to let?
I would love to see Halo go elsewhere outside of Halo Studios. Whether or not this is a failure or not, it's kind of hard to see because you had the original one, you had the 10-year anniversary, you have the Master Chief Collection, now you got this one. This is the fourth time they've released it, and so the only thing I could really think of to compare it to is the Star Fox remake that just came out. They've released it so many times, and it's how did that sell? And so I think from a commercial standpoint, it was super successful. And so, which is a little bit discouraging, but I wholeheartized agree with you that it's they took the original and they tried to make it 343 matized, or Halo Studios. They tried to make it innovated, and it's no, you just need to make it a little bit better. You didn't need to change what it was, just capitalize on the gold that you found. And they didn't really do that. And so I would love to see it go elsewhere. I think that it was successful enough that I'm going to be hey, yeah, just go ahead and make Halo 2 campaign evolved and, whatever they're going to call it there and proceed forward and onward. But yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, Riskit, where it's hey, you've tried and missed the mark. You've tried and missed the mark. How many more times are we going to let you try and miss the mark with one of your largest IPs that you have? That it's just killing the brand. I'm not sure if now's not the time, then when, because I fear that they're just going to be well, we've tried so many times, we're just going to have to let this IP die because nobody really likes it. We keep on trying to do it and nobody really likes it, and it's failing and failing when that's not that's not what it is at all. It's that you have the wrong developers making the game. So I'd love to see Activision do it. I'd love to see them hire it out to some third party. I'd love to see just thinking the studio People Can Fly. I think they can make a banger Halo game. I would love to see them give a crack at Halo. I think there's a ton of developers out there that you could give a small budget to and have it be a Halo experience, and they could absolutely knock it out of the park. So I would love to see that, but I don't think that this is, the straw or the branch that's going to break the camel's back for Microsoft. I think that they're going to be hey, that was successful enough. Let's keep going down this roadmap that we have, because it was really successful for a fourth iteration, selling it to the masses. So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Ollie, what do you think? You think it's time? I mean, I completely agree with all that. I think it's time to move it on. They've had their chance. They've had their opportunities. They've had 5 games to get it right, and they haven't.
Question for you before I answer. What do you think should happen to Halo Studios in the event that the next installation goes to someone else?
Shut it down. 100%.
Okay.
Shut it. I think shut it down. Maybe keep Pierre and some of the long time. No, I honestly think just shut it down, gut the studio, and get rid of it. It's a cost to the company that's not producing. It almost does brand damage every time they release a game. They definitely do brand damage to the game, if not Xbox.
Well, at this point, I mean,
Okay.
that's a really good question, Holly, Samantha.
Halo Holly.
Yeah, there we go. Because they built their own engine for it, and this is the first iteration that they're actually getting into Unreal Engine. So, building the studio up to make more games using the Unreal Engine, it's like, well, I think shutting it down, or doing layoffs and then taking it and like funneling into the coalition or something like that, the people that they want to keep or something like that's probably a really good idea to do, just because if they're trying to learn Unreal Engine, or if they're trying to go in a different direction with the game engine, that just let the old legacy system die, move it to another game studio. I think that's yeah.
Sorry.
I was gonna stop talking right then. You're good.
I was gonna say, so my thought is, it might be good for Halo the franchise and Halo the studio to do sort of like sort of like Fallout did when they gave Obsidian New Vegas, right? Kind of let another team do an installation. You could call it a side installation. You could even have it be like, can we please get another ODST? To me, that is the best Halo out of all the Halos. I love ODST. You're wrong. So if they could do something, you know what I mean, in the Halo universe, maybe a little different, maybe outside of what's traditionally there, and give the studio the last chance warning, tell them, go in, gut what you need to, restructure everything. We're gonna give you full support, Pierre, to come in here, clean house, change things around, tell us who needs to go somewhere else, whatever the case may be, right? Come in and say, we're gonna give you a full reset while Activision does its thing. And while that's happening, you need to get your ish together and tell us what the next one's gonna be, what it's gonna look like. Give us a plan, give us a mock, like some art mock-ups, give us a story mock-up, and sell us that so that we know what your direction is. And we'll put it in front of a panel of people to review, right? From Activision and some of these others that could give some actual good insight right into why maybe they're not hitting the mark, right? Or if after this reset it is. And I mean, I don't know. I just don't. Look, I'm selfish, right? Like, I want Activision on Call of Duty and forget everything else. I don't give a two womps about Halo. If it's going to cut into my Call of Duty. But I do think that just kind of overall, there needs to be sort of some broad strokes questioning of what's going on. There needs to be some... Because where have they been since Infinite? And I still think Halo is, out of all of the series that Xbox has, Halo is the perfect one for an episodic, continual. They should make that the only one, their flagship franchise. It should be the only episodic or continual game that's just always going, right? Like every year you get dropped another 10-hour campaign piece or something, right? And it's like a comic book where every year you get a new installation and there's always multiplayer. And multiplayer needs to change every 2 years, right? Or like have some big swing every 2 years. But you have always your story like arc with some sort of minimum to maximum standard of what story you're going to put out. And then you have your multiplayer. You could talk like they have Blizzard with World of Warcraft, which has been doing this for umpteen years, right? So if you need like a way to learn how to get into a cycle like that, go talk to them. They know what they're doing. They may not hit the mark every time, but nobody's going to hit the mark on every single thing that comes out. It doesn't matter, right? There's always going to be things that are better than others, or people are going to be divided. They like it. Some do, some don't. That's fine. You still had content, and as long as you keep the bar high enough, like Halo should be the one that has that in the Xbox universe. None of the others need to or should have to have that sort of criteria. And if Halo isn't going to do it, then Gears of War is more than ready, like, and more than efficient enough in what they're doing. The Coalition is really, really good at what they do, that
Really
maybe
good.
they need to be the ones that come into something like that. And I don't think they want to do it. And I don't want to hurt the Gears universe by having something like that. I feel like Gears could suffer a little bit with having that episodic thing for a long period of time. But I don't think Halo can, or I don't think Halo could, because there's just so much universe with it. There's a lot of ways you could take it. So that's my rant. But I do think that Halo Studios could and or should have another chance. But it's okay also if in the meantime they get a full reset while somebody else kind of takes the reins and does a side content thing.
Yeah, but who? That's the thing. Who? But I mean, look, to your point as well. When you there's Activision. They've got this massive studio that does
makes
basically
sense, right?
Yeah.
Because they know
They do the episodic.
They're the master class. Well, and they're master class in, weapon play, gunplay, movement.
No. We don't want to change.
Right.
We don't want to change the gunplay.
No, I'm not saying to change it. I'm just saying that they're very good at super fine tuning on everything, right? So if Halo has its feel, and it's just to keep its feel, it shouldn't become Call of Duty, but they're really good at fine tuning everything. So anyway,
I mean, I don't think it's that. I think I honestly, genuinely think they've got some technical chops. I think it's the team doing the story beats. I mean, they're just not hitting the mark. They weren't true to the series when they started with Halo 4. Halo 5 went way outside the pale. They weren't true to the series, And the other thing is it's a do bro shooter, right? Like that's what it is. It's like Gears, right? Gears is a do bro shooter, and that's what it should be. It should be that. You know what I mean? It's your sci-fi dude bro, tough guy, 1980s action flick game, and it needs to be that. Like, and I think they're constantly trying to change it to something or shift it slowly to something else. I mean, to Polaris Airsoft's point, I mean, he said at this point, Halo Studios has gone so far woke that I don't think they can recover. Old school players can't get into the mindset of the newer generation, and that is story writing. I don't like to use the word woke, to be honest, but I sort of, I don't think they're tapped into the main fan base at all and understand who they're writing for. And when you write a story, you need to have an intention in that story and about who your audience is. And I just don't think that they've got that right at all. I think that, let Halo be Halo, let Gears be Gears, let that cozy game with Zelda be the cozy game with Zelda. Like, there's games for everyone. We don't need to bring in that stuff into, you know what I mean? There's Dubro shooters, let them be Dubro. You know what I mean? Last of Us is a dad sort of daughter story. You know, like, you know,
Halo's
God
very
of War.
beloved. It should stay itself. It has an identity. It's a very revered identity. It needs to be that. But they need somebody to do it right.
Yeah, I mean, just even that bit that I pointed out with Sergeant, I can't remember his name now, but Sergeant who like looks at the screen with the big like smile at the start of the, you know, the start of the game, and the guys,
no, Anderson.
Johnson.
Anderson.
It's Johnson.
And the guys have run. It is Johnson. It's Johnson. Yeah, yeah. The guys have run off, and he cracks that big cheesy smile, does like a mod to the camera, and it's like, what is this? This is not what Halo is.
It's not Starship Troopers. It's not Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
That's what would have happened to Starship Troopers.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's sort of, I sort of see Halo as a cross between like Aliens. You know, there was that Aliens sort of feel to it, like with the and the yes, a little bit of Starship Troopers as well with the, you know, and then just a little bit of I don't know, like bit of Star Wars, a little bit of everything in there. Like anyway, look, we could go on about this. This wasn't supposed to be a massive top topic, but I think it's time to give it to someone else. It's definitely time to give it to someone else. I want to jump into a topic that I hadn't had in the topic list, but I just wanted to sort of briefly go over this one because, again, I want people to not be surprised when this happens. But before we do, please like button, share us out. We go live once every month-ish. So this one I sort of wanted to talk about, which is we got the price of the limited edition. Of the 25-year anniversary edition of the Halo Xbox. So this is sitting at €8.99. So that'd probably be an $8.99. So it's $900 in the States, €900 in Europe, and in Australia that translates to around about $1,200. If you think that the new console is going to be south of that, or just slightly north of that, you're off your head, right? They're not releasing a new console for any less than $1,000. If not, I think it's going to be $1,200 US. It's going to be $1,200 US. That's almost $1,300 in Australia. Thank you, Mona. That in dollary dues, right? I think people need to be prepared and understand the current market that we're in, and that hardware, these chips are not cheap now. You know, GPUs are not cheap now. This is there's been a change in the market, a shift in the market, and people sort of have to sort of accept where we are. You know, good, bad, that could be whatever it is. But a lot of people saying they're going to subsidize, and like they're not subsidizing. They are selling this console for a profit, and you are going to be paying around about the $1,000, $1,200 mark, in my view. And I don't think that that's a terrible price point, considering where we are in the generations of Xbox. I think that, you know, with access to PC, if they still do that, and I know there's some rumblings about people, you know, from some of the bigger creators, you know, sort of thinking that it won't be a good thing for them to do that. I think they 100% should do that. I think this should be a longer console life cycle. You know what I mean? I think build this as a premium console. You know, instead of a 7-year cycle, 6-year cycle, make it a decade. Give it enough legs to make 10 years. You know what I mean? You can do that with consoles. You can't do that with hardware PC unless you have a 5090, you know what I mean? And a 4080 laptop in the background that can back you up anytime you want. But I'm just saying, you know, join us. Join the PC crowd. Last console purist. Over to you, Holly. What do you think the price is going to be? Do you think it's acceptable to have a console for $1,200 US?
Well, acceptable isn't really the right question, because it's not like there's one of these companies is just saying, well, I have a boutique, you know, I have a boutique console and this is what it's going to cost. I've decided to make it premium. It's not even about that. It's just the market right now says everything is premium. RAM is premium. So this is just what it costs right now. I don't know. I've heard Hargeet talking a lot about them completely redesigning Helix and pulling down a lot of the storage. Obviously the disk drive is, I think, total guess, I think they're gonna offer an external attachable disk drive. I think. I know. Shut up.
A what drive?
I was waiting. I was trying to power through it. I was like, this man, did he not hear it? So I think they're gonna offer that.
A dick drive, yep.
Yep. An external one.
People will pay for that.
Yeah, well, they already do, as far as I've heard. So I've heard Hargate talking about how he thinks that it has to be like $600, and I just don't see how they're gonna do anything at $600 and it be better than the current gen, right? I mean, hell, the Series S is $500 now. So I just don't see how that's gonna happen. It does have a little rumble there. So 1,500, 1,200, no, it's not reasonable, but it's also just the cost of actually doing business today. And that's super unfortunate. I think that they're going to bring out the next gen console, but I also think that the lifespan of what we currently have is extended way longer than they ever originally anticipated for it to be, right? I think they're gonna, it sucks, right? Because when this gen launched, you kind of want the old gen to slowly fade off in the distance in a couple years, right? Like, give people enough time to kind of figure out their finances, move over, all that stuff, and leave the old behind. But we didn't have that this gen. This is like the first year where we're really, really starting to see games say, no, those old ones, we're done with that. We're not doing that. Here we are on the precipice of a year or so out from the next gen, and it's going to be the exact same thing all over again. So then you're like, well, what are you really getting out of a new console then? I mean, you'll get stuff, right? But like for $1,500, are you getting all of the things that you want? I don't know. Probably not. But.
Well, I mean, like as Polaris said, $1,500 is a decent PC, right? But with manufacturing power, sort of the bespoke CPU talking to the GPU and the software, AI, everyone loves that word, AI, and how they position the hardware, you should be able to get a very, very capable console for if it's $1,500. Well, I think it'll be about $1,200 for $1,200. You know what I mean? I think you're looking at a 4080, which I happen to have a laptop that's a 4080 and a 5090. Sorry, but I think you're looking at sort of, I think 4080 sort of super level would be pretty acceptable for around about that price with a very good AMD. I mean, obviously the chipset and the GPU is going to be AMD. But I think close, just the upper end of the tiers of AMD's GPUs and CPUs, I think is sort of acceptable for about $1,200. And I think that they could do it for that, right? With the manufacturing power that they have, still make a little bit of profit and bring people in. I think you have to pitch that premium console for that premium price. And I think it's possible. And yes, Monad mentions, we talked about that in the show a little while ago, China is starting to make RAM and to make GPUs. And so that's very in its infancy, but it is coming into the market. So yeah, I mean, for me, I think that's $1,200 is going to be worth it. I'm going to buy it. Noise mofo. Who the fuck is this guy? Yeah, I know. I'm a console purist. The console's still amazing. But Mike, what do you think? You think that the $1,200? The guys are talking $1,500 in the chat, and BT Maverick, honestly, 5080 and 4080 performance is almost identical. When we talk about those sort of chipsets, those sort of GPUs, they're almost identical. They haven't got a whole lot out of the updates just yet. Maybe they will in the future, but they're pretty much on par, man. And I think if you're buying a if you were to buy, say, for instance, a laptop, just as an example, I don't even look at the 50 series because any of the 50 series is all 4090 will sometimes, sorry, 4080 or a 40 series almost sometimes will beat a 50 series, and then sometimes the 50 series will beat the 40 series, and it's fairly on par with maybe the 50 series sort of out a little bit. So, yeah, Mike, do you think that the $1,200, $1,500 is going to be the price point? Do you think it's too much, too far? Or what do you need to see out of a console for that kind of a price point?
Oh yeah, and so that's a big thing is the value proposition that it presents. And so at $1,200, like for me personally, like that's a hard sale to get to it. The beauty of the console is that you buy it once and then it's there, and it's more of a casual thing. It's an easier sell typically to the consumer that you don't have to buy a PC and it runs these games and things like that. And looking at the current generation console, my opinion is that we haven't extracted the full value out of the console yet. So extending this console generation seems like a no-brainer at this point. The rush to go next gen and to, throw Helix out there for $1,200, $1,500, even for $900, that's going to be a hard sell to the majority of people. And especially if you're where you are at Xbox, like, how are you going to convince, millions of people to buy this? And it just needs to have a much higher value proposition than what the Series X or the Series S already has. I mean, I know Halo Infinite, it's not the greatest, but I can play it in 4K at 120 frames, and so it's like, that seems like a pretty good value that I can continue to do, and they can continue to make games on the current console. And so there just needs to be some sort of, noticeable value built into Helix that we don't have. And if it's, playing the PC games, then that's something. But, for $1,200, it's like, well, why don't I just go and build myself a pretty decent PC? It's just too high a price point at a time where I don't think their current generations are, hey, there's going to be this huge leap that we need to make, another generation. I'm just not seeing it. I don't know what Xbox's, play is at this point. It doesn't really make sense to me to release something right now at that higher price point. We've seen some other stuff that Microsoft has made. Something to me is like the Surface Studio. If you're familiar with that, where it's pretty much, like it's made just for graphic designers, and, it's really big. It's like, a 30-inch Surface Pro pretty much. And it's huge and it's awesome. And it starts out at like $3,000, something like that. And they're not expecting to sell millions of them, but it's for a very niche person. Same thing with HoloLens, like HoloLens hasn't hit mainstream. And I think you still buy developer kits for like $2,000, something like that. And you get 2 glasses or 2 pairs with you. And so, again, it's more niche because they're not trying to make it, selling to the masses or anything like that. And I get doing that. But when it comes to Xbox, you need to have something that is readily available, that makes sense to the consumers, that you can sell to the masses. And this is not it. It's not hitting for me, even though I love Xbox. I mean, but I could only imagine, going to my wife and saying, hey, I want to buy the next one. It's $1,200. And it's like, well, it was $500 for the one last time. What happened there? And it's like, oh, well, hon, RAM's expensive. And so is, GPU, CPU. I can't see that the average consumer is going to have that conversation either with themselves or with their significant other and be like, yeah, this seems like a really good value proposition. I'm just not seeing it. And so my vote would be, hey, let's delay the generation. Let's extract a little bit more value out of what we have with the series consoles. And then let's move forward with Helix when it makes sense to. But it feels like it's kind of rushed. And I don't think it's a very good at that price point, at the value that it's going to bring. I'm just not seeing it.
I'm going to have to totally disagree with you on this one. First of all, I don't have those conversations. I spend what I want, where I want, how I want. And 2, and so does she. And so does she, right? But we are fortunate. Like, both of us have living in a fantastic state that affords us the opportunities that it affords us, and so we're able to get the jobs that can allow us to, purchase these things. So that said, but I definitely don't tell her how much I'm spending on things, otherwise she would probably have a heart attack. And the other thing I would say is, like, they definitely need to rush this out the door, 100%. So they have to beat PlayStation to market on this one. If you want to drag back market, a slice of the market, you need to rush this out the door. It's not this is 100% has to beat a market at least a year before the PlayStation 6. But not only that, it has to outperform the PS6 when it does come to market. And if it doesn't, it has to be because PlayStation 6 goes, hold on a minute, we're going to delay another year so we can up the hardware specs or do something with this. You need to put your competitor under pressure with this. And with the price point, I understand that there's a lot of people that aren't going to be able to afford it out the gate. 100%, I agree there. But your value proposition needs to be in comparative. So everything is sort of understood in comparison, right? So comparatively to a $1,500 machine PC, what does it do that machine is not doing? What is it doing that the previous machine is not doing? And I know a lot of people are saying, there's not a whole lot more to do, or there's not a whole many more places to go with it. But obviously we're not upping to 8K. I know that used to be Pete's argument. The Pro thing is the 8K. I mean, his argument still holds for up against a new machine, right? So, but you're talking about frames here. So you want to be hitting it, like, as a standard, 120 needs to be hit. And as a standard, 1440p needs to be hit. But then you also want to talk about options for the player. So, like, within the settings, am I having a full ray tracing experience? Like, am I having extended ray tracing? Is it set at ultra? Is it set at high? Is it set at very high? Like, what are the settings that I can sort of pick? Is the developer picking those for us? But is it comparable to a $1,500, $1,200 machine? Or does it exceed that? And you want it to exceed that for the value proposition. I completely agree. You know what I mean? If you're looking at upgrading your PC as opposed to getting a console, you're looking at, hey, this Xbox actually exceeds what I could spend that $1,500 on a PC for, and I get XYZ with this. I have access to Steam, have access to Epic, have access to GOG, Itch, all those storefronts, as well as it exceeds the performance of what I would spend, as well as obviously you get the benefit of the exclusives, because that needs to be in there. So, as well as all the things that Xbox provides in the way of its party chat that's absolutely fantastic on the console, its backwards compatibility, which is second to none. All these things that Xbox provides, but they must win the power narrative, one. They must win the value proposition narrative, two. And they must get it out to market before PlayStation does, three. Those three things they have to hit to be successful in this generation. I 110% believe that should be the strategy, and I think it's a winning one. Not only that, when you launch the console, that needs to be launching with games like Gears of War, which we're going to jump onto in a minute, like a new Halo Wars, that some games that you can't get anywhere else. Fable should be exclusive, that are only on the console, and you've absolutely nailed it, right? You've got the power narrative. You're out the door before PlayStation. And the other thing as well to say as well, Mike, I think is to provide options for purchase, which I think that they've talked about quite a bit, right? It's to say, hey, we understand that this is going to be expensive. That is the market the way it is. However, here's an option for you to buy this console. And they did it last time, but they didn't really advertise it. But here's an option for you to buy this console piecemeal, right? Pay it off with no interest added on top, right? So you're not paying more than your $1,200 or $1,500. You're just paying it off in piecemeal. And they did that last time. And what wasn't understood, I think, and they didn't pitch it like enough, is it's actually cheaper to buy the console that way, the last generation, because you got Game Pass for a full year plus the console for the price of the console, which you didn't get if you purchased outright. And those things need to be pushed. So that's another thing. There's a lot of tiers, marketing as well. They need to market this right, and they need to knock it out of the park. If they do all those things right, they will claw back some of the market, and they will change the narrative around Xbox, but they have to deliver on all those things. So yeah, I think rushing out the door. Look, Jason Ronald was working on, when I was in LA in 2023, they were working on this console already. Like it was already happening. And we had discussions about $1,000 consoles, and they understand. He was the one that's saying we can't release a $1,000 console. Things have changed. That they understand the position that they're in. So it's how they bring that to market and how they pitch it is what's going to make the difference. And what's available, value proposition, all those things. In my view, that's just sort of how I see it. Look, let's jump on to the next topic because we got a few, and this was the main one that I sort of wanted to talk about. So first of all, Mike, just to get a gauge, did you get a chance to play the Gears beta?
No, I've never really been big into the Gears multiplayer. I know, I'm terrible. It's because I suck at it. That's why. People like things that they're good at, and I'm not good at Gears PvP. So, but also, like I talked about when I got here, like I was in Florida on vacation. I was doing some conventions and stuff. So, I mean, we pre-ordered the collector's edition to do as a giveaway with 4XP, and so that's in the works. So I had a early access beta code. Just didn't have the time to play it. I was busy the weekends it was open.
Boot this guy.
You're not wrong. I should have. It looked fantastic.
So for me, full disclosure about how I played the game, because it's really important, is that I had terrible internet. Monad was with me most nights. So Monad's like someone I play with almost daily, except for when I'm working away. So if you see Monad in the chat, that's my guy. He jumped on over nighttime for us to play. So we managed to get to the all the rewards through, So we got to the 20, did all that stuff. He got second MVP. Now you're not the master because I wasn't there. It doesn't count. But the problem that I was having is that my internet was absolutely terrible where I was in the middle of the outback. Normally it's not bad these days. It's getting better, but I was staying in a caravan park because this is going to send me on a tangent. So I apologize. This is a gaming podcast. And if there's any construction workers in the actual chat, what is with you guys and why are you such pussies? Like, I have never seen people just bitch, moan, and complain as much as construction workers. It's like you guys need to have your ass wiped on it. Like, I worked underground as an underground miner. We didn't stop for crib breaks, man, or lunch. Like, we worked our ass off. There's a saying underground that, and I apologize for the language, it's underground, not fuck around. I have never seen so many people standing around doing absolutely nothing, watching other people work, than I have in construction. It is absolutely wild. And then have the, like, you're getting paid a mint to be here, and then have the audacity or the entitlement to just whinge about everything. I've never seen anything like this. I'm like, what is wrong with you guys? They're like the people who went on strike because they've only got 3 ice cream flavors. Anyway, the reason I'm around that rant is because we were staying at a camp and all they did was moan and complain about it. Now we're in a caravan park with terrible internet. So I played Gears with terrible internet, right? Because of these babies, Gen Z. I'm sorry for Gen Z babies. Anyway, so I had some troubles. However, and I don't play multiplayer either, Mike. I don't play multiplayer either, and I really hate the wall bouncing stuff, and I can do it. I can do it, and I'm not bad at it, but I hate it because it's just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Like quickscoping. I refuse to quickscope in COD. I was quite good at it. Like, just because you can do it, it doesn't make you good. That makes you basically using a mechanic in the game as a cheat code, right? So the wall bouncing that you see in Gears is why I don't play Versus, but Horde mode, oh my God, what a concept. How well was it done? The perfect amount of people in a map. I can't wait to see the other maps. I'm a little bit curious about what differentiation you're going to have because it's mainly in a city. So how many different maps are you going to be able to do? But that's for a conversation for maybe later. But oh my God, this game is so good. Oh, so good. Looks beautiful. The way that they've used squads in the game. So like you could be in the middle of a chaotic gunfight and the next minute this other squad comes in and it's like starting trouble with the Locust. And you've got like 2 sets of hordes sort of running across the screen, all over the shop. It becomes absolutely chaotic. The first couple of games I played, I was like, what the hell is going on? I felt like I was in an actual war, you know, like I had the 1,000-yard stare afterwards. I was just like, what the hell happened there? And why do I keep dying? But after a few games and then getting better at the game, like, and obviously leveling up, because leveling up does increase your buffs, you know, and, you know, accuracy and armor and all that sort of stuff as you sort of play. My God, the game is so good. Like, it progresses well. It looks amazing. The squad mechanics are fantastic. The types of modes that you do, the side missions are great. Like, I think this is fantastic. And I didn't really play Horde mode in 4, a little bit of 5. I don't even know if 4 had one. But oh my God, love it. It's going to be fantastic. Now, let me just quickly do the super chat, and I'm going to jump to you, Holly, because I know that you played a lot more than I did. I got to play about 2 to 3 hours a night, mostly 2, and it wasn't enough, and I want more, and I cannot wait for this damn game to come out. Like, they need to release it early. And good work for making it exclusive. Game Seeker, with the, I hadn't forgotten, with the Canadian $2, he said, will Wolverine win Game of the Year? And my answer to that is, if it wins Game of the Year, then Gears got robbed. Absolutely robbed. And I haven't even played the campaign yet. Like, this is the game. If you can't tell, I love Gears. But I think it was it's PC Gamer who did an article that said Gears E-Day multiplayer is so old it feels new again. And it does. It's like a return. The update to the mechanics is like bang on. I had some troubles because my muscle memory was trying to roadie run. And that's not how you do it. You do it like with the updated sort of click in the stick run. So I had a few like figuring that stuff out. But once this game, I cannot tell you how good this game is. If you haven't played it, you're absolutely mad. Holly, so you can tell I didn't like it. What did you think of it?
Well, it's really good. It is definitely an entirely revamped Gears of War. And it's weird because literally any other game you would hate the roadie run, but in Gears it was sort of endearing, right? Like, it was just kind of like, this is the unique thing for this game, and this is what we do. But I was a little concerned. I was like, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna miss it because that's Gears. That's part of the identity. But it's great to not have it too. In this, the multiplayer, I played a bit of it on stream last week with Red Wolf and some other community members, and that was the first time I hopped into, and I sucked at it. It's the multiplayer has a very high skill level. And
It's sweaty.
doesn't mean that you can't get into it. It just means you're going to have to play a little while to sort of understand the rhythm of a Gears multiplayer versus other types of multiplayer. It takes a little bit, you know, to kind of get that. Horde mode is fantastic. I did love it. I got real tired of that map by the time the whole thing was over.
Yeah.
Real tired of that that map. I knew
But you knew
was,
it,
though.
right? But you knew
Yeah,
it,
it's
right?
a big map too.
You knew it well. Like,
Yeah, but that's every multiplayer that you play. Like, you learn the maps, right? So, but that also happens in like any beta. You always get tired of the same because it's always a very limited map choice, right? My only, it's not a complaint, it's just a wish. I hope that it's there. Is that I did play a lot of the Gears 5 Horde mode. And I played a lot of that one. It's very good. And what that one had, I miss in this one. So in Gears Horde mode in 5, it wasn't a big map. You didn't run around and do all these other like mission objectives. You just literally loaded into this small map, like the size of like a shipment in Call of Duty. Small, right? And there was an energy box. And so you would basically load in with 1,000 energy, kind of like you do in this Horde mode. But you were just on the map and you had 30 seconds to buy some to buy some upgrades to help protect yourself, right? So you go and you buy a little bit, you set it out, and then you just survive the wave. And then at the end
Yeah.
of the wave, you'd run around, pick up all the energy, bring it back to the box, and then you'd have more energy to buy more things to protect you, to set up, et cetera, right? So to survive the next wave. And that was so much fun. That was a blast. I love that horde mode. And while this one has DNA of that by having like the energy box that you're just basically protecting, you're not really buying anything. The cash boxes are really only just to basically buy ammo and then an upgrade for your squad perks that you might have gotten to pick up.
Let me jump in there. So I thought the same thing. Like I was like, oh, this is a bit shit. I was like, it's not getting much out of this. However, then I discovered there was the razor mines, right? And when you upgraded, you got the second thing. And I was like, right, so I can set up before this next wave comes in. I'm like razor mining like everywhere, right? Like just so that there needs to be more.
That's it. And there are a couple like troikas up in the like sometimes above there'll be a troika that's mounted, which didn't work sometimes. I don't know why. And I had enough energy, but it didn't work.
I figured it out because other squads had used it and used it up, and then so you couldn't use it again, which was like
but you could
annoying. You could build it, you could, but sometimes you couldn't.
Yeah,
you couldn't build it.
Yeah, and yes, yeah. But that's also dumb too because there are multiple squads on the map doing different things at different times. But I liked the idea of having these like optional side objectives, which people you need to understand. You actually really need to do those. That's the only way you get the squad perks that you can upgrade later. And you need the squad perks when you get to the higher difficulties. But I don't think a lot of people understood that. So I was explaining it and they were like, oh, like they had no idea how they were getting squad perks. They just knew how to upgrade them. So, there's that, and like I like this horde mode siege thing. I just really, fingers crossed, hope that they have the traditional horde mode in just another playlist, right? Like it might not have been there because it's a beta and they're just testing the new thing, right, to see how it works. But I really miss just having like a small map. You have to survive. You have so much energy. You build some stuff and pray for the best, right? And hope that your teammates are good enough to kind of keep you afloat. Because that was really, really, really fun. But otherwise,
it makes
it was
different.
Really good. It was very stable. I never had any crashes. The graphics are beautiful. The only other thing too is it's a Gears thing, and it hasn't been, at least for me, I have not either learned how to do it right or it's still finicky. Is the Lancer. When you have the chainsaw Lancer and you want to chainsaw somebody and you kind of have to do this dance to find the right angle to get the Lancer to actually do the thing. Whereas like sometimes I would get killed and I'd be standing there like, right? Like trying to chainsaw this locust and it's right there. And I'm like, he's right there. And it wouldn't catch and he'd shotgun me and I'd die. And I'm like, what the I've been doing this like circle jerk with him for like 30 seconds trying to get the right thing. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but it is really frustrating.
No, it's not just you. The move set, the way it moves changes when you pull the chainsaw out. So like you become really twitchy to turn left and right. Yeah. So like it's really hard to get it exactly where you want it to hit the. Or it's really annoying.
If it's like if you're pointing towards him, it should just do it, right?
Do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they need to fix the hitbox and then just keep it the same, like keep the same sort of movement when you bring out the chainsaw. I mean, one of the things we didn't talk about is the verticality of it. So good to sort of set up your position on high, whereas Gears has always been like an on the ground cover shooter.
Well, yeah, because they can't jump, they can't climb, they can't
do anything, right? And so there's a lot of verticality. Like you can find spots up high. And if your squad's good, like the best squads we played with, like me and Monad would be up top, and then there would be a couple of the guys downstairs, and they'd be holding the downstairs, you'd be holding the top, You know what I mean? You hopefully take enough put enough damage on the enemy as they come in. The guys at the bottom can clean them up as they come through. Sometimes it wouldn't happen. They get cleaned up. You got to go downstairs and sort of clean up the bottom section. Then it would turn into absolute chaos and everyone would die, or you'd push them back and then you'd go for the next one. Like it's really good tactical shooter, and I love that kind of a shooter, and it really appeals to me. Like I do like COD. I like the run and gun. That's great, but I've always loved tactical shooters where you got to sort of think a bit, position a bit, and sort of have a plan. Like I love Band of Brothers in Arms back in the day, and then Brothers in Arms Hill thing where you had a squad, you could position them, and if you didn't do it right, you know, the enemy would run through you. So like you had to tactically think, and I love that about this game. But while it's on your feet as well, yeah, I didn't have many complaints, to be honest, about this game at all. Like there was nothing in this that I was like, yeah, I'm not liking this. I think they got the moveset right. The boom, what do you call them? Oh, my brain's
Boomers.
completely lost the word. The boomers, but what's the name? The not. I'm thinking Covenant, but it's not Covenant. The
Locust.
Locusts. There we go. The Covenant on the brain. Yeah, the boom. They're so good. They're much bigger. The boss enemies are fantastic. You can pick up their weapons and have a play. The guns feel great. I did know when they did the first run of the beta, the early access was much, much tougher than the open access, the open beta access, because they upped the damage of the Lancer and reduced the damage of your perfect reload. And it made a hell of a difference, right? Because you were just, before that, you were just pumping mags and you very often didn't have enough ammo to get through an entire engagement and you had to go reload. That still happens, but it was guaranteed every time. You knew you would have to stop halfway through this engagement, go and get ammo. That lets people in, and if you were all doing that at the same time, it would just turn into an absolute cluster. So like they sort of updated the TTK, which was great. I didn't have many complaints. It was hard, but not unachievable, right? So, and I think that's fantastic. We did see a little bit of the Wolverine footage as well, just to go back to that Game of the Year thing. And I really hope that they don't, Gears doesn't get punished for being an iteration on a series of games, if that makes sense. Because I really think that this, if the story is even just, I mean, the mechanics are there, right? If they nail the story on this, I think that this is a Game of the Year contender, 110%. Do you think it's up there, Holly, for Game of the Year?
Gears?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Kick her. No. The tax is real.
Not that I don't think it wouldn't be deserving. I just think that this is a really, really tough year. And I mean, it seems like games that are kind of bro shooters don't really get the same sort of respect, I guess you could say, in the Game of the Year conversation as other types of games. So while it may be deserving, I just think that bro shooters have a tax too.
That's, yeah, I can understand that. So quickly, just to have a look at the numbers as well. There was obviously a narrative from one side of the community that it didn't really do well. But it hit an all-time peak of 22,000. That's for a beta. And then I had a look at a couple other betas, and then I started crunching. I got interested in how this would work and started crunching a bunch of numbers off of Steam betas from what we've seen before, and did averages, used a bit of AI to get the averages and stuff like that. And what I came out to is this probably will peak at around about, when it launches, around about 100 and something thousand players on Steam. Should sell 1 to 2 million copies within the first few months. Is basically what we've seen from beta numbers, closed beta and open beta numbers like this. Not to mention there was some stats pulled from the back end of Gearbox, and it was 1.2 million people played the E-Day beta on Xbox, which is out of control. It really seems to have hit well. and there's the more stats at the bottom there. Is 24.1% played 10 hours, 12 played 15 hours, and 6.5 clocked 20. You know what I mean? That is a lot of people. I feel like this is going to hit. I think it's the right game to have gone exclusive with. So yeah, super stoked with the way it went. Super stoked with the direction. Yeah, I'm pretty happy all around. I didn't have many complaints at all. Mike, is there anything you want to sort of throw in? I apologize. I know you didn't get a chance to play much of it because you're on vacation. I didn't play a heap of it, but my God, it was good. I highly recommend it.
Well, it's just really nice to see because like the Coalition just doesn't miss, unlike Halo Studios, and so it's really nice to see and hear that they found the formula where it's like, hey, we can kind of stop innovating. We found something that works, and let's keep it, but just kind of expand on try something new, try something fun, try something different, but not like innovate it to have it be something that isn't Gears anymore, like what Halo has tried to do. And so, yeah, it's really, really good. I mean, Holly's take on Game of the Year, I think that's pretty accurate. There's just been a ton of bangers and ton of really good games that have kind of come out of nowhere per se, and things that have hit that we're expecting to hit. And I mean, if this was a couple of years ago when like Alan Wake 2 had come out and there was and the Game of the Year was not great maybe then, but this year's just so many good games are coming out. Even with Wolverine coming out, like I don't know if that's.
Are you throwing shade at Alan Wake 2?
No, it's just I like Alan Wake 2. It's fine. But it was like, oh, Alan Wake 2 made it. That's cool. That's fine. But I misspoke apparently. My bad. But no, like there wasn't great games. I want to say it was like 2023, something like that. I can't remember, but
it was 23.
Yeah, mm-hmm. It's a heavy hitter year that being a great game is not going to be enough this year to guarantee a Game of the Year or even a nomination. To be honest, like I haven't. I mean, Wolverine hasn't come out yet, but I wouldn't be too surprised if that doesn't make a nomination either, along with Gears of War. We'll have to see what happens. So
I'm not. I can't say that I'm super. I'm apprehensive about Wolverine. Like I'm not, and it's not because I'm not like against PlayStation. But I don't know. It just seems I think we've seen this before. You know what I mean? It sort of looks that way. And I'm sure it'll end up in the Game of the Year conversation, but as of course it would because it's PlayStation. But I don't know. I'm not at all hyped about it like I was. And I don't know what I was expecting because, it's Insomniac. They do a certain type of game. They do Spider-Man. They do great games. Spider-Man are great games. But I don't know. We've done that, right? Yeah, I would have to play it to see. But from the looks of it, I didn't think a whole lot of it. I mean, Mike, what did you think of Wolverine when you saw the footage?
Oh, I think it looks fantastic. And like you said, like not Marvel, but Insomniac, like I don't want to say that they're carrying a bunch of the weight for PlayStation, but they've just done really good with Ratchet and Clank, with Spider-Man. I'm not sure if they've done some other ones recently, but they keep making really good games. And it sounds like the development for this one has been a little bit of trouble in paradise for Insomniac. And so I don't know what that's going to translate into on the game, whether or not it's going to miss or if it's going to go in a direction that fans aren't expecting it to. It'll probably be just fine, but it kind of sounds like Insomniac has just been, a happy studio, just painting happy little trees everywhere, doing their Bob Ross thing, and just it's been really good for a lot of games that they've been releasing, and really really responsive from the communities that really enjoy the games. And so we'll have to wait and see, but I think it's going to potentially just not be as good as the Spider-Man games that have come out. And so I think that people might be slightly disappointed from it. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I think it looks great. I mean, I don't have a PS5, and I wish I did just so I could play the Horizon Zero Dawn games. But
Blech. Sorry.
sorry, if I was gonna play a game on PlayStation, that would be. But no, it does.
You're the first
it does
person
look
I've
good.
ever heard say that. Like that they. I'm not saying it negatively. I'm just like I never hear anybody say Horizon looked really good and I wish I could have played that. Like out of all the Sony stuff, right? Like, and it's just because I think that's an interesting thing to me because it seems like Herman Holst is really pushing Horizon, like force pushing it. You know, like no, people are gonna like you this. I promise. I promise people you're gonna like it, right? And they keep doing it. And like I don't think anybody hates it. I think it's an okay game. Like I played the first one. That's like one of the only platinum trophies I think I have on PlayStation, and I enjoyed it. I did
I was
enjoy it a
bored.
lot, but I haven't played the second one yet.
The game board. I didn't pick up the second one. I played the first one or started to, and I was like, I am bored now.
Oh well. Anyway, so it's just interesting to it's nice feedback to hear just because I haven't heard anybody say, I wish I had a PlayStation for Horizon games. I've heard them say it for Spider-Man, you know, like the big stuff you hear about. But it's
Yeah, it was kind of funny when like they first announced it at E3. I was watching the show and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, like this game looks like it's for me." But I'm an Xbox guy, so I'll miss this one. But if I was gonna buy something, that would be the first one there. So
I mean, Last of Us
Okay.
was that game for me. Like when it first launched on, I think it was PS3. When I first saw that, I was like, oh my God, that game looks amazing. And it was, and is, and so is 2. Doesn't matter what, Ollie, Samantha thinks. Haley, Ollie, Samantha. Anyway,
Samantha.
If you're ever putting my name in the same sentence as Last of Us 2, it better be Haley because that's not my name. Don't put that filth next to my name.
she loves it. It's great. It's fantastic. I guess we're going to talk about the GTA 6 leaks, and I'd love to play them on screen, but we would be demonetized instantly and probably the channel shut down. And then people would probably chopper out to my door. Someone would like drop out of the sky. I would be like taped up, thrown into the back of a unmarked van, and never heard from again. So I saw these. Looks like GTA, man. And what really annoyed me is a lot of people were like, I'm going to make an AI version of the GTA thing and put it on, pretend it's a leak. I'm like, what's stupid, man? There is some stupid people out there that like probably were like, yo, looks amazing. I'm like, dude, no game looks like this. This is absolute. But what I did see, I liked. I mean, it's GTA, right? I've never been a massive GTA fan. Like, I might play the campaign and then move on. This is what I think is going to happen with GTA 6. Let me just. I think it'll get Game of the Year, but this is what I think. Every single time 2K launches one of their and this is like even including GTA 5. Every single time they launch a new game, be it Red Dead, GTA, the live multiplayer online section will be completely unfinished and not worth anyone's time. And that for a long time, GTA 5 was just a waste of like, and then all of a sudden, boom, it takes off. So I predict that's going to happen. I think it would be silly to launch that game without a fully stacked live service game, especially if you're going to pull GTA 5 off, because you still got people in GTA 5. My son still goes in there and plays it with his mates. They do a heist every now and again. That's a step towards maybe destroying your live service. You know what I mean? If you pull GTA 5 and you're pushing everyone to 6, which is what I think that they'll do, I think it's sort of a dangerous spot to be in. Never been a massive fan. I don't mind a GTA campaign. I think sometimes they go way too long, and I get like, it's any like open world game. I try to do everything, goes too long, and then I give up on it. That's not happening for Assassin's Creed Black Flag though, because that game is amazing. But Holly, how you feeling about the leaks?
It won't
the
happen to
looks of it?
Cyberpunk either, right?
Yeah. I'm getting to that game. There's a lot of games out at the moment that I need to get through. Cyberpunk's on the list. It's up there. It's probably 15th, 16th
So,
on the
Mike,
list.
the story is this man years ago committed to, if I played God of War, he would play Cyberpunk.
I got the raw
I
end of the
played
stick,
God
mate.
of War. I played God of War.
I got a raw deal.
He did not. Cyberpunk is a way better game than God of War.
He didn't even buy
God
it.
of
Didn't even
War.
download it.
No, he.
I haven't.
Well,
Have it.
yeah. I think
I
he
s-
needs to stream it to prove it, because otherwise, at some point, he's just gonna lie about playing it, and we're gonna be like, okay.
I
All right, sure.
100% have played it. I have finished it. It was a fantastic waste of my time.
If you had played it and finished it, you would have come groveling back and very reluctantly agreed that it is one of the best games you've ever played.
Most
Have you
definitely.
played Cyberpunk, Mike?
I haven't. No.
What the fuck? It's like, that's different though. That's different. You're not like wincing out on a bet. That's different.
Oh no, I'm a
You
man
should
of
play
honor. I
Cyberpunk.
keep my word. Unlike
Mike,
some.
Mike, I have to say you are not missing out on a damn thing. Like, it is probably one of the most overrated games that we have ever seen in gaming. And that is the truth, Mike. It is the truth. Don't waste your time. But just to prove something, yeah, I'm just going to prove something. Real quickly, you just give me 2 seconds to shift some things around.
You haven't
Makes it
played-
happen.
You haven't played. You haven't finished
There you go.
it.
Right there at the bottom, you can see May 30th of 2026. I purchased the game.
Okay. Congratulations.
incredible.
I don't
It's
know
incredible.
what you want from that. What?
A man of honor right here. Love
Man
it.
of honor. Exactly. Like I said I would. I purchased the game. I booted it up. I threw up in my mouth and I turned it off. I will play it. I will get to it. I've even set up a whole OBS scene for it. Like, I'm ready to go. Like, it's going to happen one day. But the problem is, what we need a drought. We need a drought of games. I said this to Simona the other day. I'm like, we need a 2022 drought badly because there is not enough time in my life to get through all these games at the
More
moment.
money.
Yeah.
There's too many to buy too.
It,
Yeah.
Yeah, it needs. It's like they had a drought and they were like, let's hold back and release everything at once. I will play Cyberpunk. I know you guys think I won't, but I will. I won't enjoy it. It'll be a labor of hate, but I will do it. Right? Promise. I swear on my left toe now, big toe, that I will definitely do it just in case. If I stub my toe today, Holly, I'll be disappointed. I guess we jump on to what even topic were we on? Oh, GTA, the leaks. What did you think, Holly? Did you get a chance to have a look at them? I mean, it's GTA, right? It's a prettier GTA.
I didn't look at them because I don't want to look at them.
Oh,
I just would rather not. I would rather not. Like, what the tiny, like, half things I've seen as I've scrolled, I think it's old build. I don't think it's new build. If anybody, like, I heard that people are concerned about, like, it looks real janky and things, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I don't think you should trust what's there. I'm not saying that it's not a build of the game, but I just don't think it's what's gonna come out finally. So, and plus I just don't like when people do leaks like this. I just don't think it's fair to the people that worked on it. And by doing this, you are really screwing with the wrong people in Rockstar, because Rockstar will hunt you down, and they have Take-Two as a backing. So, like, out of all the people, they will come after you and they will sue for as much as they possibly can, and you will regret the day that you decided to do the thing.
If you
So.
play a trailer, of GTA 5
Hey,
now,
they cut you.
yeah, they will strike your channel.
Cole had the video. Sorry. Cole had a GTA video. And he did a little bit of just AI GTA stuff. It wasn't real gameplay. It wasn't the leaked footage. It wasn't any of that stuff. He just had AI just simulate, oh, we could see something like this or something like that, right? Like, just, like, nothing. No assets from anything. No trailer pieces. Nothing. All stuff he just made. And Rockstar copyright struck it. They're also on a rampage because of what this guy did, right? So they're just going through and just mass anything that might even be in the realm of GTA. You're done.
Oh, but
toasted.
even before GTA 6 was announced, like if you anything to do with Rockstar, they would just come after your channel, like every single. And
but
so
I don't actually blame them for a lot of that. Just. Trailers, I think, is bogus. Yes. Like, if you had a trailer, I should be able to use your trailer. Right?
Yeah. 100%.
Yes, I agree. Right.
Yeah, like, and at the end of the day, it's fair. It's the fair use thing, right? If you're not just putting the trailer on, there's nothing else. You're not talking. It's not in lieu. So if I threw the trailer on now and we're talking over it, like that's fair use. We're just showing the trailer of like what's coming, and the leak. I get it. Don't show the leak. Cool. I'm definitely not going to do that. But to show a trailer, they would strike this whole podcast. Even if it was like 2 seconds, I would have to cut that section out. Look, it looked like it didn't look bad. It is apparently an old build. He apparently does have a copy of the game. Whoever's sharing, and he's saying, his thing is he's holding them to ransom for. I think it's releasing a physical copy of the game and a couple other things. Just not the way to do it, man.
He was selling access to the stuff for $80 a pop for his cryptocurrency. Like, you had to buy his crypto to look at the stuff or something like that. So
seems legit. Mike, how do you feel about the whole controversy buying his crypto immediately?
Yeah. I agree with Holly. Like, it doesn't seem worth it. Like, Rockstar is really good at being tight-lipped about stuff and shutting down everything. And the stuff that I saw that was released, I don't know if anybody is like, any reasonable person is going to look at it and be like, oh, I wasn't going to buy GTA before, now I am. Or vice versa, whereas, oh, I was going to play GTA, but now, since I saw that, no. Like, you're going to get the traditional GTA experience that you want from it. We all know how GTA 6 is going to be. It's just going to be awesome, and you're going to get distracted going and playing stuff that's off the main mission for hours, which is what everybody wants from GTA, to just go and do whatever you want. But just huge bonehead move there. I taken on a lot of risk for I don't know what, but yeah, I didn't think it was anything too special, too over the top, too underwhelming or anything like that from what I had seen from the leak. So kind of wondering what the motivation was. He's definitely all in on his cryptocurrency apparently. So good on him. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, as well with the jank, I think it's just going to have the normal Rockstar GTA 5 jank that it's always sort of had. I mean, you got to get that. That's what it is. I'm sure they built it on top of GTA 5. Hopefully, it's a bit smoother. But yeah, I mean, it's GTA, man. Everyone knows what they're getting.
I just finished my playthrough of GTA 5 on the channel. I hated it. I hated it. I did not like it at all.
Why?
Did your stream get taken down again, Holly?
No. I hate the jank is just too jank. Like, the story was okay. It was all right. There were parts that were really funny. You know, I laughed out loud, right? But like, the flying can suck on a donkey toe. It is terrible. The flying is so bad. Like, I wound up skipping half of the flying missions. I like tried them 4 or 5 times and just like skip. Yep, I did it. Skip. Because I would get all the way there and I'd have to land and something would happen, or I'd land, but the dot was 4 feet that way and it'd be like, you need to be on the dot, right? And then I'd try to get on the dot and I couldn't get on the dot and it would time me out and do the Rockstar fail and I'd be all the way back at I was like, I don't have time for this. I hate this. The controls are terrible. Terrible. Terrible.
Even
And
the shooting's
I'm tired
terrible.
of the Rockstar run. The Rockstar run is stupid. Stop making me punch A for no reason, right? Like, we are past that time, Rockstar. Can you please just update it for our convenience, right? Like, it doesn't have to be all special all the time. Your game is what's special, not the button setup, right? Like, come on.
Yeah, the button layout is pretty rough. I agree with RSJ. Yeah, there's a lot about GTA 5 I didn't really like either. I didn't hate it, but I was just like, it was all right. I don't know what the big deal is. Everyone seems to love it. I guess it's because you can do whatever you want, and the NPCs sort of react. I think the best thing about that game is the persistent world, the way it sort of reacts to what you do. Which was my complaint about Cyberpunk, right? You know what I mean? Like, it was supposed to be like a better than GTA 5 when it launched, persistent world where all the NPCs reacted, and next thing you know, you do something wrong and police just like appear out of nowhere right behind you. It's crazy. Not to mention all the console controversy and Cyberpunk. And we shouldn't reward developers for poor launches. Anyhow, that's enough about Cyberpunk. I don't know who brought that up. Did you guys know or hear that Plague Tale, was it Requiem, the whole game got leaked online?
What?
Resonance.
There you go. Yeah, the whole game got leaked.
Did not hear that.
Did not know that.
Yeah, same thing as what happened with the Forza 6. Like, I don't know what is going on with this, but they need to sort of stop that. And why would you? I don't know why. I don't know why you would just leak a whole game
of all games. Yeah. Did you see the Lancer?
Yes. I want it. It's 400 Australian dollar dues, and I want it.
It
and I
sold
don't
out
know.
so fast. It sold out so fast. They wound up and came back and said, we didn't expect this to sell this fast, so we're gonna release another. You can, like, until August 28th we're gonna have, but those won't ship until February, I think it was, to try to get a pre-order in for those, but then that's it.
I can literally still pre-order it in Australia.
Yeah,
It's up on my screen.
So it's until August 28th. They reopened the window and said for a later purchase, for a later ship, we'll do that.
So orders placed before August 20th will be ready to ship during the month of November, and new orders placed after August 20th will ship in February 2027.
Yeah.
Oh, God, Holly, do I need it? No. Do I want it? Yeah. I really
You
do.
know
I think you
how
do
good
need it,
that
Riskit.
thing would look next to that.
I mean, my God.
Just saying.
I'm looking at it now. It's just a thing of beauty. Let me share this on the screen right here.
That was pretty cool. That I didn't know that they were doing that. And then all of a sudden I opened Twitter and it was like, pre-order the Lancer now. I was like, what? It's pretty cool.
It is crazy.
It's
Look
a
at the link.
You know what'd be great
replica.
is
Yeah.
you know what'd be great is if you could get some like red blacklight paint and like put it
Yeah.
on the wall behind
the
you.
blade?
So like when you turn on a black light, it shows, a bunch of blood splatter. Could make it real cool.
Look
That
at
would be
that.
Very cool.
I mean, look at that. That's just absolute thing of beauty.
I think 4XP needs to buy one to give away to me.
Oof. To you? Is that
to me. Yep.
the guy who doesn't even play Gears.
Well, I mean, that's
I played a
claimable on
campaign, so
tax,
just,
right?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
100%.
yeah, okay.
Oh yeah.
You can definitely claim that back. My tax lady's not going to love me this year because I used AI to go through all my entire receipt list, and I'm claiming a lot of things. And she is going to be annoyed with me, but she'll get over it. Anyway, that's enough talk about tax. I think we've pretty much run out of time. I mean, we could talk about PlayStation being sued again.
For the digital stuff, for the storefront.
Stop Killing Games is raised a $457 million lawsuit over a store monopoly, which should be pretty hard to defend against now that they're going all digital, because they don't really you can't buy a PlayStation code for PlayStation. You can for PC, but you can't for PlayStation. So that store is a complete walled garden. And you can look at games on that store, as comparatively to, say, Steam or even, wherever you get your codes. And the price difference is night and day. You know what I mean? You're still paying full price for games that are, 10 years old, a decade old. And you go to Steam and they're, $4. So I can't see how they lose that case. I will say as well, Microsoft needs to stop. Love Gabe, don't get me wrong when I say this, but Microsoft needs to stop collaborating with Steam on pricing, because that was something that sort of came to. Holly sent me that video, good creator. Had never seen him before, but now I do follow him. But they need to stop doing that, because the other thing is, as well, is I've noticed since going to PC, it is price collusion. And I've also noticed since going to PC and buying a 5090 and a 4080 laptop that run games at 240, 300 frames per second with ray tracing. Anyway, but I've also noticed that there's a lot of games that, if on Steam, are not on the Xbox PC store, and I would buy them, a lot of them, through Xbox. And I think that Xbox needs to start resolving that and competing with Steam. Not price matching. And trying to compete with that store. You start putting out game specials on Xbox, and say you're $10 cheaper than the $20 cheaper than Steam, the Steam price, you're probably going to bring not massive amounts. You're not going to just kill the market, but you're going to bring some people in. And I just think it was a weird thing that, hey, cool, I'll play this game on my on Xbox, or I'll buy it on Xbox, the PC version, and it's just not there. You have to go to Steam, or you have to go to Epic. No one goes to Epic. Let's be honest.
I do.
Okay, sorry.
Actually, I have Epic open right now. I was looking at Star Wars. The interesting thing that's happened over the last 6 to 8 months for me personally, and I have seen out of a few other people, when I said this, they were like, yeah, actually, I do that now too. When I look at buying a new game, like one of these that's coming out, and you're not going to find a code, that's $20, $30 cheaper somewhere, right? It's all kind of the same price point everywhere. When I look at buying a new game, I wind up looking at Xbox first, even though, I still play on my Xbox, but I play a lot on PC. Because if the game is Play Anywhere, I want to buy it on Play Anywhere more than I want to buy it anywhere else. And every time it's not Play Anywhere, I'm disappointed. Like the Assassin's Creed, right? I went to Xbox. I was like, okay, I'll buy it on Xbox. It's not Play Anywhere. So I was I went and bought it on Epic, I think, right? And then it's happening again with Star Wars Zero Company. And I was like, oh, let me see. I'll buy it on Play, because I want to be able to play it on. I want to just be able to sit and play it on my console if I want to, but I like having it on my PC as well, right? Plus, I've got the Ally, which I take on the go. So I'm like, if I put it on there, that's a PC version, but I want to be able to sit on the couch and not necessarily have to turn it on the PC. And Star Wars Zero Company, which is an EA Play, it's not Play Anywhere. So I'm going to buy it on Epic. And I'm just like, this is like it's really unfortunate because it's such a missed opportunity. Because then I'm forced between, okay, do I buy it purely on console or do I buy it on PC? Well, I'm gonna buy it on PC because I have a PCs where I want to play, and I also have the handheld, which is ultimately a PC, right? So it's just their Play Anywhere initiative is way bigger mentally than I ever thought it would be. I was always kind of like, who cares, right? They're just future proofing for the next box. I don't really care. And then I found myself going, I'm not going to buy that on Steam. Is it on Play Anywhere? Because if it's Play Anywhere, I'm definitely buying it Play Anywhere because that's where I want it to be.
Yep.
So I know they're working on it, and I know they're giving up a pretty good amount of share on the games that they're selling on their platform, as opposed to what they would just do with a traditional like console or PC sales, separately. Yeah. But like it's actually a really, really great program if you have both, platforms, and it's a bigger game changer than I ever gave it credit for to begin with.
Well, the thing is with Play Anywhere, and I 100% agree. I found myself doing exactly the same thing. I'm like, if it's Play Anywhere, I'm buying it on Xbox, because then I can sit on my console if I want to. I bought Black Flag on the Ubisoft subscription. I got Ubisoft Plus because the total, I could have got Black Flag for, I think it was around 80 to 90, but they had a sale on for 130 for Ubisoft Plus for a year. So I was like, all right, well then I can play it anywhere. I can play it on Xbox, so I'll do that, right? But the thing about Play Anywhere, when you think about it, is publishers and developers aren't really losing a lot to make it a Play Anywhere title, because if you've bought it on PC, you're probably not going to buy it on Xbox again. Some will, but a very small amount. I don't think you can make a lot of sales there.
Or they buy it when it's so far on sale. Their second copy is when it's dirt cheap, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then if you buy it on Xbox, you're probably not going to buy it on PC. So like the vice versa thing. I don't think you lose anything by making it Play Anywhere. But what Xbox gains quite a lot from that, because I think a lot of people will be like, cool, if I have a console, those are the console, I'll be able to play it on my console. I mean, the best thing about playing Assassin's Creed in Ubisoft is I got the Ubisoft Connect achievements, and who cares about those? But all I need to do is boot up my Xbox, start up Black Flag, and the achievements just start rolling in, right? And I want those. That's an ecosystem I've invested in, right? I've got badges. I've got
other thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got achievements. I've got all these things I want, and I want it to be where I want it. So yeah, I think you're 100% right. They're doing well with it. I think they've got quite a few games. They need to do a little bit better. They need to sort of push it a bit harder.
I was surprised that both Assassin's Creed and Star Wars weren't playing. I was genuinely surprised because they have those very, very tight connections with Ubisoft and EA, right? Because they're all kind of interlinked with Game Pass and whatnot. And I was like, why wouldn't they have that? These are like some of their closest partners. I'm just really surprised that their games just aren't Play Anywhere, right? Off the rip. I don't know.
If Ubisoft, and it doesn't make sense to not do that, because if Ubisoft and EA are making a better cut, like you want those games to sell where you're making a better cut, right? So, and if you're going to get more sales at Xbox where you're making a better cut, it's good for them too. It's good for them, it's good for Xbox, and it's good for the consumer. I think that's an all-round good for everyone. Monad, what did you say about my PC? Keep talking about the PC. I love it. Don't stop. Yeah, absolutely. I won't stop, Monad. It's an amazing 5090, and the 4080 is also quite good too.
Waiting for some music to come around.
5090.
Yeah. And with that, Holly, it's kind of curious because like a lot of Capcom stuff is Play Anywhere. And so,
which is
and
a
not
Sony partnered studio.
Exactly. And so it's really curious that they're like, oh yeah, we'll do that. We'll hop on board with the Play Anywhere. And yeah, like you said, it's more Sony. I mean, it's the Japanese thing that they like, that they're all buddy. But yeah, it is curious that they're not, the closer partners for Xbox are not really jumping on the Play Anywhere as much. I don't know.
I mean, and how much development time does it take to do a little bit of back end work on any game to get it on? Just going back to the Play Anywhere, yes, but also to put it on the Xbox Store on PC. It's a PC game. These just need to be triggered by launchers. They don't run in the launchers. They run like as that is the launcher. They don't run in Xbox itself, right? So I don't think there's a whole lot of work. So to Fuzzy Tomato's point. Says Ubisoft games weren't even in the Microsoft PC store until like last month. Yeah, and they should be. And why wasn't that a thing? Why didn't Phil push that?
Well,
I don't know how we ended up here.
The only thing with Ubisoft, though, is I could see that Ubisoft was really trying to be stingy with anything besides Steam because they wanted to push people to Ubisoft Plus. So now that Ubisoft Plus has been out a while and it seems like they've opened it up a bit more, right, by adding at least the classics into Ultimate and some of that other stuff. Maybe it's not doing as well as they hoped. So now, they're like, well, at least we can make some sales now. If our subscription isn't going to do so great.
Yeah. I mean, it's sort of nuts. I did ask a question on Xbox 2 today as well. I'll ask you guys and then we'll do the wrap. But I was just thinking about it. I'm like, do you think, this is sort of a little bit off topic, but sort of looking back at the exclusive thing, there's one of the things I didn't ask, which sort of ties into this is, do you think the pushback on the multi-plat strategy from the community, people like myself, who never gave up the fight, I knew I'd win eventually, but made any difference to them switching strategies? Or do you think that this is all a stats-driven, profit-driven, hey, we looked at the metrics, the sales aren't there for PlayStation, versus the loss of engagement or the loss of people sort of thing when we went to that strategy? I don't know. I'm curious to see how that calculation was made. Was it all stats-driven, profit-driven? And if it wasn't, how much pushback did it take to get them to turn it around? I mean, I guess it's sort of more rhetorical, unless you guys want to jump in on that. And then my other question, go ahead.
I think it's 100% brand damage and stats driven.
I agree. I don't see a world where Xbox doesn't have that being the main driver. I mean, I look at, and maybe the example of when, that first initial huge price hike for Game Pass went up, and it was just huge fan backlash, and it wasn't an immediate, drop in revenue. But it was huge, and Phil had to come back and be like, hey, we're sorry, we're going to lower it down to this price, and we're going to figure things out. And so that was a huge, fan reaction thing. But not another, example comes to mind that it wasn't data-driven at Xbox. I mean, it had to have been that, hey, this approach isn't working. Yeah.
We saw a massive drop in YouTube, even for massive creators that were Xbox creators, there was a complete lack of interest in anything Xbox was doing. Like, it was huge. It was humongous. That's a good one. I like that.
But I imagine that, it's like, hey, we really expect that if we go multi-plat, then this is the amount of revenue. This is the amount of market share that we should grow.
But
and
they didn't.
I doubt it did. I don't think it hit nearly as close as to their, conservative projections. And so it's like, oh, oops. But yeah, the brand damage, a little bit of the customer feedback, but mostly they just failed entirely on the numbers, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I would say personally, my thoughts are as a combination of things, looking at the figures and then looking at the stats from the pushback and then looking at the pushback. Like, I think it was all bad, just bad idea all around. And I think it was a fundamental misunderstanding from Satya Nadella of the industry and how it works. Like a fundamental. And I think that's what I'm curious is about. I would like to see in 20 years, once all the NDAs are up, I want someone to sit down with Phil and go through what happened. Like, what happened? Like, in the background, I want to know what happened. And then I look back at Phil's tenure was my other question. And I think, like, whilst it was marred at the end of his tenure, I think he was probably one of the best stewards of Xbox we've seen. Him and Peter, he ran the Manchester or the Liverpool club. Pete would probably be my number one CEO of Xbox, and Phil would be a close second. And we yet to see where Ash is going. But I think we're going to see some very interesting times in the next couple of years for Xbox and where it ends up. So I was just getting very retrospective, I think, when I was listening to Xbox 2. I'd actually like to sit down with Jez and have a chat about where looking back at the last generation and where we started and how we've ended up as well. So I might even reach out to Jez and ask if he'll come on so we can have that chat, because I think it would be really, really interesting to get Jez's perspective and bounce back and forth, because me and Jez have had some fundamental disagreements throughout the generation also. I don't think that's been any secret. Well, look, it's been an absolutely fantastic show. There wasn't actually a whole lot of news this week. There was this month some things sort of rattling around, but we're staring down the barrel of like the season. 'Tis the season to be gaming, and it's going to be absolutely flat out. There's going to be games flying out everywhere. There's going to be lots happening. BT Maverick, Peter Moore was the man. I love how when he was with Sega, he stole Nintendo's golf clubs when they went to one of the presses or something, or the conventions. They ended up stealing the Nintendo executives' golf clubs. They went golfing. Anyway, fantastic. Love Peter Moore. He's the original console warrior. Fantastic. Holly, let people know where they can find you, what you're up to, lots of stuff, good stuff, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, all right. I normally do stream Saturdays. This week, though, it's going to be slightly different because I am actually going out tomorrow afternoon to celebrate Idle Sloth's birthday with him. He lives in Chicago now. So
he lives in Chicago.
Yes. So
really,
everybody should. Yeah,
wait, stop.
Yeah, it's a recent. He just moved.
Wait, stop. So he's moved to Chicago.
Yes.
Nice. That is awesome. So I have much to talk to you about in the background, but that I'm invested in Idle Sloth's life, and I want to see where it goes. So because a lot has happened in Idle Sloth's life in the last couple of years. And it's been an interesting roller coaster to sort of have a sidecar attached to. Love that man. He is an absolute legend, probably one of my favorite people in the community. So shout out to Sloth. I'm super excited for him that he's moved to Chicago. And I need to catch up with him. I need to jump in, but and I will do now, because long story, but his time on the Xbox is usually taken up by a particular person, and I never want to interrupt that, but now I know I can interrupt, so that's great. Good news for me, good news for him, good news for Holly. Holly, continue, sorry.
I'm glad you spun that into something for you.
That's what I do.
So I'll be hanging out with Idle Sloth tomorrow. So everybody, if you're on Twitter, go give Idle Sloth a good happy birthday. And so my stream Saturday will be stream Sunday, and I am going to stream the Call of Duty beta with Meg on Sunday. So I don't have a time yet for you, but he's been out of town. He's still out of town. Matter of fact, he sent me a picture of himself on a jet ski, like living the good life. So so we will be streaming COD on Sunday. So come watch on Sunday.
I may hunt you down, and absolutely I'll jump on the enemy team and I will destroy you both, just to make the stream fun.
How are you going to get on our servers?
I'll find a way. Oh, join on you. I'll just be looking for Holly. Join on you. Mike, let the people know. Thanks for coming through, man. Really, really appreciate it. And we're hoping to have you on more and more in the future. Please let people know where they can find you, what you're up to, what you're doing with 4XP, what the next convention is, and all that good stuff.
Heck yeah. So if you go to 4xpgaming.com, that's where we're at. It's kind of fun. We sold out of our starter kits. We're doing a promo where you just pay for shipping. We'll send you some drinks and a shaker bottle for you to try it. So it's always fun when we sell out of stuff. Makes my heart happy. But yeah, we're going to be in the Tucson, Arizona area, Labor Day weekend. So in a couple weekends coming up here, doing samples, selling 4XP, enjoying life and everything. We're on Instagram, Twitter. Maybe Garrett, my counterpart from 4XP, that might respond to you if you reach out to us there. But we're making content, having a good time, enjoying some drinks. But that's what we're doing. Always peddling 4XP, throwing it out there, hoping that your phone picks up when we say 4XP all the time, so that it eventually shows you ads for us and stuff like that. But yeah, 4xpgaming.com. That's where we're at.
Fantastic. And I have run out, which is why I'm now drinking these. But
For shame, 4XP is way better than that crap.
it is way
Sweet,
better than this.
sweet.
But also it says Aussie lemonade, right? Aussie. Particularly for Australians, not for you American types, Probably can't handle it.
Isn't lemonade an American original thing?
That's why I'm always shaking like this, right?
Aussie lemonade. Is that hard lemonade? Is that what it is?
No. It's a monster.
It is hard on the gut. But
It is not good for the belly girth. That's all. It makes me more girthy. And not in a good way. Anyway, it's been an absolutely fantastic show. Thank you guys for coming through. Really appreciate it. And everyone in the chat, you guys have been amazing. As always, I say this every week. I've been saying it for a couple of weeks. I know I need to sort myself out, but I will. Try to get some consistency back in the show. So I will work on that. At the moment, I don't have a night shift one week, but that looks like it may be changing because my work likes to change things all the time. Doesn't matter where I am. They're like, oh, we're going to change this now. So that I might be able to do 2 shows in the month. We might be able to do a pre-record, blah, blah, blah. We'll sort that out. And we'll see you in the next one. Eventually. Maybe.